Hey yo, what is going on with the viewers of the tube? First, I'd like to introduce myself as Tyler, the host of the crypto channel that knows money corrupts even some of the most respected heroes.
We're not on that. We're not on Spotify, and the reason why we're not on it is because it didn't make any sense. They were like, we want to put you on, it's going to be great for you. I'm like, how's it great? Yeah, you guys are going to make money. Like, you guys are making money, you don't give us any. That whole streaming thing is this weird smoke and mirrors song and dance they put on. You're going to be a part of something big. You're like, but what are you selling? All you sell is artists' work. You don't have anything to sell.
Yep. And I say
the artists get paid so little.
So little.
So where's the money going? Because there's all these...
In their fucking pockets.
Hello, everybody. I have an announcement. The podcast is moving to Spotify. I signed a multi-year licensing agreement with Spotify that will start on September 1st.
You know how they charade. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, it's no charade for one of my favorite crypto projects who is about to change here soon. That project, I'm sure you could tell from the thumbnail, is Ethereum, who is beginning the stages of moving over to a proof-of-stake blockchain with the launch of the Beacon Chain and the proof-of-stake testnet, the initial stages of Ethereum 2.0. Proof-of-stake, Beacon Chain, testnet, Ethereum 2.0? What the freak are you talking about, Chico? Well, if you are confused about the future of Ethereum, you are in the right place, because today we are going to be breaking down everything Ethereum 2.0, what it is, how it will work, why are they doing it, and finally how you can join the Ethereum 2.0 testnet today and get prepared to stake it up, baby, now. So to begin, what is Ethereum 2.0? What is the Beacon Chain? And what is the testnet people are talking about? Well, to begin, let us understand what Ethereum 2.0 is. A basic explanation is this is Ethereum's move from a proof-of-work blockchain secured by miners like Bitcoin to a proof-of-stake blockchain secured by staking node validators. And that alone is a massive transition, which has a ton of unknowns. For one, will it work? And even more, will it be more secure? Will it be faster? Or will it lead to centralization faster than mining? And there are case studies out there which say things might not go as smooth as people think. Tezos is a great example of a functioning and launch proof-of-stake blockchain. And I'm a fan and hold Tezos, but there is research that came out in the beginning of this year from Harvard that showed there is a possibility for selfish baker behavior in the Tezos blockchain as bakers start baking bad. If you didn't know, baking is staking in Tezos, and from that research paper, they analyzed the October 2019 Babylon update and demonstrated that under certain conditions, rational participants are incentivized to behave dishonestly, and in doing so, they provided a theoretical analysis of the feasibility and profitability of a block stealing attack that they call selfish endorsing. But why would Ethereum be doing this if it wasn't proven to work, and with all the unknowns? Well, Ethereum is valuing, in my opinion, scalability over security. According to EtherChain, Ethereum is only moving at 9 transactions per second. And with sticking to a base proof of work like they are, Ethereum has a max transaction capacity of 15 TPS on the base layer chain. It's not enough to become the world's common database, the world computer as some have called it. And even in 2014, before Ethereum officially launched, Vitalik knew they would be possibly moving to proof of stake. He wrote a blog post about it in January of 2014, titled Slasher, a punitive proof-of-stake algorithm, which he said the purpose of this post is not to say that Ethereum will be using Slasher in place of Dagger as its main mining function. Rather, Slasher is a useful construct to have in our war chest in case proof-of-stake mining becomes sustainably more popular or compelling reason is provided to switch. And that is why Ethereum has been and is taking a slow, measured approach to the launch of the proof-of-stake chain. The damage of moving too fast could be killer to the protocol and what has been built, the smart contracts, and DeFi as a whole. So the road to staking, the road to serenity, has been a long one. It began with Ethereum's launch in 2015, and the changes and preparations for proof-of-stake have been in the works up to today. As we can see, Phase 0, the Beacon Chain, is releasing in 2020, which is the initial proof-of-stake blockchain, and all it will do is stake. That's it. In 2021, Phase 1 begins, and the shard chains will be released, which allow parallel processing, improving scalability. In 2021 and 2022, it begins Phase 2. The Ethereum virtual machine upgrades to eWASM, and the shard chains get full functionality. And finally, 2022, Ethereum begins Phase 3, continuous improvements, which includes the release of the Lite clients, which means by then the network should be fully stable and able to handle the largest of transactional loads. But where are we with Phase 0, the beacon chain, and what is that? Well, let's begin with that beacon chain. Like mentioned, it's a proof-of-stake blockchain, and in Phase 0, the only thing that chain does is make sure the blockchain is secured through proof-of-stake. No smart contracts or anything complex down in this chain. So you must be asking yourself, where do the smart contracts happen then? Well, the beacon chain will run in parallel with the proof of work blockchain. A smart contract on the current Ethereum proof of work blockchain will allow validators to participate in the proof of stake protocol by taking deposits of exactly 32 Ethereum. Smart contracts will all still run on the top proof of work blockchain, as there is no Ethereum virtual machine in the beacon chain, because validators can only interact with the chain in a very limited way for initial launch security. But as time goes on, the Beacon proof-of-stake chain gets more abilities and eventually takes over the proof-of-work chain entirely. But initial launch, when is this happening? Well, Ethereum 2.0 client devs had a meeting 1 week ago, and they spoke about the future. Afri Shodin said this about the Beacon chain testnet. First attempt at testnet failed due to the issue with timestamps around Genesis. This was swiftly fixed, and Schlessie was launched with Prism and Lighthouse. Initially poor performance, but improved rapidly. Finality is now almost perfect for the last week. Teku joined a week ago, both syncing and validating. Nimbus clients are also progressing with synchronizing. Lodestar managed to connect and sync some blocks. Given the current stability, we'll start working on coordinating a multi-client testnet for version 0.12 with 16K Genesis validators and maybe 3 different clients at Genesis. Could do dry deposit contract ceremony. Target June for this, potentially to allow clients to update to version 0.12. Yeah, that is next frickin' month, guys and gals, because almost 10% of my viewers are now the ladies from my stats. Sup, babes? Are you ready to get a little nerd horny?
Do I make you horny, baby? Do I? Do I make you randy? Yeah.
Because the next thing I'm going to show you is not my schlong, but how to get set up as a validator for the Ethereum 2.0 testnet, launching in June. Now, there is a great place to expand your knowledge of the next phases of the protocol, and that is the Ethereum Knowledge Base, which has a great step-by-step guide to joining the Ethereum 2.0 testnet. I've included the link in the description if you are more of a tactical learner like myself and like to do things your way. But for those auditory and visual learners, let's begin with Chico's walkthrough. So first, the system requirements to join. Recommended 8 GB of RAM, 100 GB solid state drive, and the MetaMask wallet installed on your system. The minimum is 4 GB of RAM and 20 GB solid state drive. And what I find great too is from the knowledge base requirements, they have a diagram of what is going on with staking and validator. And as we can see, Vitalik Slasher from 2014 is included in the base proof-of-stake protocol to prevent malicious validators. So to officially begin, I will be doing this example in Windows, but there is a written guide for Mac as well in the knowledge base and in this description. So step 1 is to create a folder and name it Prism, as that is the testnet we will be joining, Prismatic Labs. You will need to create this folder in your C drive as seen on screen. Next, you need to open up your command prompt, which is easy. Type command prompt into search, which will pull it right up. Now I like to split my screen in half with command prompt and the guide, as you can copy and paste what you need into command prompt from the guide directly. First, you will need to copy from the guide and paste next to your username and command prompt what is right there, step 1, first in the gray. Press enter in command prompt. and then this should show up in the command prompt. And after that piece, you will copy and paste the GitHub link, second piece of gray in the guide. Once copied and pasted, press enter. This step is just a cosmetic step and not required, although I did it. You need to bring up a new command prompt window, and then after your username in there, copy and paste from the guide what is in the gray from step 2, and press enter. Now comes the fun part. Step 3, starting the beacon node. Go into your C drive with that Prism folder we created. In that folder should be a prism.bat file. You then need to take that file and drag and drop it into command prompt. Then in step 3 on the guide, you will copy and paste into command prompt what is in the gray, and then press enter and it should begin. And it will take a few hours to sync with the blockchain, so let's wait it out. Once the sync has finally taken place, you will know it's complete because you eventually sync to the slot, and the command begins syncing and applying state transitions to new blocks. So the beacon chain is running. What is step 4? Well, first we need to get us some testnet Ethereum. To do this, open MetaMask, and you need to set it to connect to the testnet. To do this, you need to click up top to change the network and click Custom RPC. And then type into the new RPC URL https://goerli.prylabs.net and then click save. Then you should get to go on the testnet with 0 Ethereum in your wallet. Now, how do we get those Ethereum? Well, we need to go to prislabs.net/participate, and all links are in the description, by the way. And we need to click on step 2, get GoETH, test Ether. And then click on MetaMask. It should recognize your address. And then ask if you want to get some. Click the Need GoETH button. Next, click Yes Please. Wait it out and then check your MetaMask for over 32 ETH. Boom, it's there. Now step 5, it's time to create your Ethereum keys. Start the validator and make your 32 Ether deposit. To do this, open up your command prompt once again, and then drag and drop the prism.bat file into command like we did earlier. Now you will take and copy the gray shaded text in step 4, create ETH keys, and paste into the prompt and press enter. Some goobly gobbly will go on, but then you will be greeted with your raw transaction data in the command prompt. Copy this, and then you will go to the participate page from Prismatic. And in step 3, generate public and private key. You will paste that transaction data into there. Now step 5 is starting up the validator client. Open command prompt, copy and paste the prism.bat file into there. Then in step 5, start the validator. Copy and paste the gray shaded area from the guide, and then press enter in command prompt. Your validator should fire up, and now it's time to make the deposit. Go back to the participate page, and step 5, click make deposit, and it should fire up MetaMask. Confirm, and then go back to the validator in command prompt, and wait to see that it is deposited. But full activation takes another few hours, so wait it out once again. But once you are included for validation activation, you can check your stats at beaconcha.in by copying your public key, which can be found from the transaction you sent or from command prompt, and you can see which slot you are expected to be accepted in. We are slot 238,113. Which if we check out the Explorer, they are on block 236,159, meaning we got some time to wait until we start validating and receiving rewards. Well, viewers, I hope you guys get set up and test staking here soon, because the more ready you are to go live, the better. Cheers, I'll see you next time.